Okay. So usually when I record a game that I have played before, I'll let myself babble on and, have at what I like about the details about a game. But this time, I'm starting a timer because this is a game I could honestly babble on about quite a while. So let's take the briefest moment before my alarm goes off and talk about Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Now, I will preface this with, I have been a series-long fan. I played the Deus Ex and Deus Ex Invisible War on my super duper duper old Dell family computer that had troubles running Diablo 2. I have always enjoyed games that go just a little too far with granular results. Now, let me break that statement down a little bit. If we were to choose any random action-adventure game, like the Star Wars games, God of War, Ratchet and Clank, it is always an open world game set relative to a rail. You start here, you need to get here. Maybe there'll be a few little hidden caches along the way, some side rooms, a little goofy here and there. But the game pushes you forward with the expectation that you will make it through just fine. The Deus Ex series is a choose-your-own-ending book, and that has stayed pretty consistent through the entire series, including the newer one. Now, there is, kind of like Dishonored, there is no correct way to play this game. There is no right or wrong answer on how to get through a level. If you wish to be Adam Jensen, corporate ass kicker, you can stock up on as many heavy weapons as possible, open up your whole inventory space, bring all the ammo you can, and go in guns a-blazing, Call of Duty style, and take down absolutely everything in sight. I think the game will only penalize you maybe twice, max, for not using stealth, and I don't think anything is ever required about stealth. It's all for little optional bonuses for missions. That's it. If you want to play the game as the super stealth Adam Jensen, corporate detective and CI, do it. Slink around the corners. Get the optical camo. Hide. Be a bastard. Who's gonna stop you? Not them. They're already unconscious. They're dead, maybe. I don't know. The game really does let you choose anything. Do you want to be lethal? Do you want to be non-lethal? Do you want to have less augmentations? Do you want to have more augmentations? There is no wrong way. Now, I will say there is definitely an optimized way to play. Absolutely. But if you stray from that optimized path, you're not in any danger of just soft-locking yourself in the zone unless you are stuck in between areas with no ammo. And even then, there is usually a vent to hide in, a high area to get to, something where you can let your little battery recharge so you can go knock one person out and then go back into hiding. Is it a shitty way to play? Yeah, it feels like I'm playing the Batman Arkham games. Go hide on a gargoyle until you're ready to go unleash your next ass kick. That's what it feels like. With Human Revolution, I got the game originally on PS3, the not Director's Cut edition, so I didn't have Hong Jr.'s mission at the Noodle Factory, I didn't have Factory Zero, it was just wall-to-wall, done. The boss battles did not have any optional ways to get rid of them, defeat them, etc. It was always just, I pray you brought a gun to this fight, because if you didn't, you're using the scraps in the arena, and if you miss, you're doing it again. The Director's Edition is definitely more forgiving during the boss battles. In all my years of playing this game, never once have I achieved the stealthiest of foxes, or no, foxiest of hounds, and pure pacifist. And I have seen people do it. I just don't seem to have the same luck they do, or the patience at the very least. Me personally, I like to go with a mixed build. I go into hacking first because if you can hack a door, you can get anywhere. Even if you can't hack the door on your first try and it sets off the alarms, you still have the ability to open the door. Most doors in the game are wood, so if you have a shotgun, 3 shots from a shotgun at close range, you too can hack the door, just in a different way. If you don't have the ability to hack, maybe you have the reinforced legs. Oh man, this door and this wall is in the way, but there appears to be nothing above this wall past like 3.5 feet above the door. If I prop a box up next to this door and wall, I can just jump over the damn thing. Oh man, I don't have the reinforced legs, but there's a crack in this wall in the room next to it. I wonder what that does. Oh, you can just robo-punch through the wall anyways? There's so many ways to play. There is no wrong answer, and I love that. Unfortunately, compared to Dishonored, this game's graphics look a bit more dated. And I don't know if that's just how Eidos Montreal made it, versus Arcane. But they both use the same proprietary formula of the Thief game. And I believe, I'll put it up in this section somewhere, I believe the original Deus Ex game might be almost as old as the original Thief game, running on the old, Raven software. Aside that, it is a game series that has forever left me enamored, because, quite like God Howard's Skyrim, you can just choose a different build. And no matter how many builds you choose, you will always slip back into your comfort build by the end of the game. It's everyone's favorite joke. Ah yes, you want to be a Khajiit that wears heavy armor and uses nothing but magic? We'll see you in 30 levels when you're a stealth archer. It's just how it goes with games. You find a cozy way to optimize it, a fun way to play, you're going to slink back into it time and time again. Me, I always prioritize hacking, and I like to play my favorite little game called The Vent Gremlin, where in situations that get out of hand, if I don't have optic camo, if I'm not prepared, if I don't have what I need to have on me, and I catch myself lacking with my pants down, I will sit in a vent with the stun gun or the tranquilizer rifle, pick people off one by one, take them, drag them into the vent with me, wait for the physics to get real funny and kill them, which usually avoids my whole pacifist run, and then just slowly keep picking people off. I feel whenever I play this game that it's a reverse horror game. I'm the monster in the room. Now, based on the lore and story build, I'm the solution to the monster in the room. The monster in the room being the Megacorps and the Illuminati. But I'm their monster. They have a reason to hide, and it's Adam Jensen. The dude suffered the world's worst traumatic experience, got saddled with multi-million dollars worth of medical bills that got forgiven because this game was made by Eidos Montreal and they don't know what healthcare bills are because Canada has better healthcare than us. And then they took a genre of game which at the time was not fully explored and explored it. Now, we've definitely had our fair share of dystopian future games. We have the Fallout franchise, which is just as old. Even older, actually, I'm pretty sure. We've got all sorts of, like Duke Nukem's dystopian future. We've had Wolfenstein. Doom is technically a dystopian future. but we didn't really have any dystopian cyberpunk future games outside of the original cyberpunk D&D style game and the Blade Runner movies, well, movie at the time. The cyberpunk genre wasn't really touched on. It was kind of a floating taboo because for every time we have a Back to the Future style movie where it predicts the future, and then where the future was predicted in that movie versus where humanity falls flat, there's always such a disparity of things we wish we would see by then. And here we are in 2026 with Deus Ex Human Revolution taking place in 2027. They set it in what was once a very booming economy that turned into kind of a shithole of a city. Sorry, Detroit. But they don't make it picturesque. It's not the perfect city of the future. There's a lot of old infrastructure, brick buildings, shitty half-paved roads. And in between it, you got, newer buildings, revamped stuff. It's just, you can see that we aren't in the future yet in this game's 2027. And man, did they almost get that shit 1,000% correct. Because as far as I'm concerned, Detroit is definitely not the financial cultural hub that it used to be. Because, Detroit was the original automobile mass manufacturer of America. It was a boom state. It was a boom city. It was a boom capital. And after all that industry left, Detroit suffered. Everyone left Detroit with the business. And since then, it's kind of been a shithole. And if they're saying in the future of next year that a tech corporation would take over Detroit and make it a slightly betterly infrastructured city with some modern appearances, I would hedge my bets on saying it's possible. We still got a year. Anything can happen. Anything could happen. But outside of the regular Detroit location, you can see a wild level of difference for the acceptance of both the human genetic evolution of bionics, I guess you'd call them, and the general technology that the world is accepting. Like when you fly to Hengsha and you see the city on top of a city, definitely not the city from Final Fantasy VII. It's a city over a city. Oh, who lives in the upper city? Yeah, that's the rich business district. Hey, who lives in the lower city? You don't want to go to the lower city. That's just how it is. And it definitely speaks to you when you see it, because, there are concepts that are even in use today that are seen in this game, like the Alice Garden pods in Hengsha. You can go rent a pod apartment in Japan, and I'm pretty sure China as well, as an affordable, quick, like 3 or 4 day stay over where you have a bed. Is it big? No, but you have a bed. Pod hotels, they exist. They exist in this game. The whole city having a really depressing, bleak, cement concrete jungle vibe, yeah, those also exist. Having a city on top of a city is not impossible, and the best common world example right now is Rio de Janeiro. It's a city built on a city. You can tell where the old infrastructure was, and they just built on it and just kept going because it kept expanding. They needed more space. Hengsha, which is in Shanghai, is just the expanding of that. And when you get to the upper level of the city, it's a little cleaner, but it's not like immaculately clean. And then you get to Taiyang Medical. Immaculate. Clean. You get a very good view over the city. The city looks clean because you can't see the lower city. That is absolutely peak dystopian cyberpunk style future. oh, this major medical corporation that's keeping this whole island funded, yeah, they're going to have the best view in the city. You won't have anyone relatively near them that even resembles a beggar. When you do the fly out to Montreal for the Picus News segment, you can definitely tell that Ideos Montreal favored themselves. The building is beautiful, the view on the way down the funicular elevator, beautiful. It's very advanced, but it's also a massive high-rise. Another mega corporation winning it in the future. Again, I really hate the cyberpunk dystopian future where megacorps become massive, but damn were they right. And that's what I love so much about series like this that try to predict the evil future, is when they get it right, it is depressingly so freaking accurate. Just uncomfortably accurate. Now, towards the end of the game, especially when you do, post Noodle Town, when you do Factory Zero, when you end up in, oh god, what is it called? Null Ranch or Zero Ranch, and then you go to Panchaea afterwards, that's when it starts to get into the weird and fantastical, because by that point, you're geared up, you're decided on a build. Adam Jensen is flexing circuits at every corner and crushing ram sticks with his ass cheeks. You're built. Up until that point, you are doing every side mission, looking for every praxis kit, saving every dollar, and you are sitting there deciding what's going to sell for more when you go to the next inventory drop-off spot. It's a game that makes you make choices. You don't have an unlimited inventory. You can't just keep picking shit up. There's not always a convenient time to go sell stuff. Sometimes, I think it was coming back from Hengsha the first time, you get locked into a sequence of areas that you cannot sell anything for like a solid 2 hours. You don't get a vendor. You go to TYM. From TYM, you go to Montreal. From Montreal, you finally get to go back to Seraph Industries. But not. You get dropped off at your apartment, you gotta go walk your ass down to the gas station and sell to Grayson. That's like a 2-hour window in which you're being thrown loot, more loot, and you have to start deciding, fuck, what am I gonna use? If you're going in guns a-blazing, you're gonna use every bullet they give you, because there's a lot of dudes there. If you're going the silent route and trying to be a pacifist, you are going to be suffering from success, because you're going to be spending more time doing hand-to-hand combat and cracking people's necks and spines and giving them wheelchair disabilities for life than using your long-distance gun, because you're afraid it's going to trigger a mass riot of people. Like, I think at my mid-game, I had somewhere close to 60 tranquilizer darts, because it's just so unruly to use in office buildings and the spaces that this game gives you that it's just not a good option. I definitely recommend looking for this game on a discount, because it is so unique in the way it handles itself. Like, the fact that you have to switch on some of your cybernetic enhancements manually, and you have to remember to press the button to turn them off to conserve energy. You gotta watch people's pathing routes, you get to watch your mini-map, watch your actual heads display. You gotta keep track of a whole lot of stuff, and it's a whole lot of micromanagement that you have to squeeze into your focus level. Like, hey, dude A is over here, dude B is over there. There's also a camera in the corner. I have a very thin window when the camera turns that direction and dude B goes down that hallway. I can walk up and snap dude A's neck and drag his ass around the corner. When you're doing a finisher animation, time does not slow down for you. When you're hacking something, time does not slow down for you. Reading a book, believe it or not, time does not slow down for you. This game makes it as close to real as possible without going the extra step like Norman Reedus and the Amazing Fetus, where you gotta get new shoes every like 600 miles and, take a piss every now and then. Outside of that, this game kind of perfects the realism of, hey man, you wanna sit back in an event and slam 6 bottles of vodka? Yeah, your screen's gonna get blurred for a long ass time, but you know what? You go right ahead, buddy. Sit in there. Think about what you just did. Hey man, we got a mission all the way across town for you. Do you want to choose the long main road, or do you want to just cut through the back alley and maybe get shanked? The game doesn't pose you with too many really difficult things to do. As long as you have a relatively decided build for yourself, you'll find a way. You'll be able to go places you couldn't go before when you come back to that area later. Like, I didn't get my double jump, or well, not my double jump, my high jump, until way later, and I think I died twice because my dumbass did not have the Icarus landing system, and this game takes fall damage very seriously. Like, hilariously seriously. I don't think I've had the instance of falling off a short ledge and dying, but I've definitely had it where I've tried to ooch my way off a short ledge, and I died spectacularly because the fall distance would be critical to a regular person. No ifs, ands, or buts. I think this game usually goes on sale for like $5, if and rarely. You generally will only find it when they're doing like a Square Enix sale, and even then this one usually gets disqualified from Squeenix sales because it's such a hidden gem. There are only 4 games in the mainline series. If you're walking in as a new player and you want to know if you're gonna like the series, this is a great starting point. The original 2 games, you gotta do a lot more micromanagement for your prostheses. This one has a lot more automatic prostheses. It definitely also amplifies how it does the stealth and corner turning. The other ones were a little choppy, but this for me is what I would call a 10 for 10 game. Peak, if you will. The game lets you pick how you want to play. The game has dialogue options that actually matter. Choices matter throughout the entire game. Everything you do builds up your good reputation. You can save or have people die that affect different endings. It's the ultimate everything. You can go guns a-blazing and die a legend like you want to live in Night City Cyberpunk, or you can play Deus Ex just how they used to have it. Be invisible and try your hardest to show up. It's everything I needed to be in a game. I can play a different way every time, and as proven by one of my trophy pops in the middle of this, I don't usually kill Diamond Chan. Usually I just knock him out, leave him in his apartment, drop some drugs on him, and say, yep, he's going to jail. Sorry, ladies. You'll have to deal with that. Nope. For the first time since the PS3 era, I finally dragged Diamond Chan off of an edge and dropped him because I realized I broke yet another run of trying to be a pacifist by trying to move a body that was melted into the floor, and it went... and it killed the dude. He was still unconscious. He was still there. But it fucking killed him. What can you do? Little bugs like that in old-ass games, they make me giggle. I'm not offended by them. I will always advocate for a good game that lets the player have choice. Obviously, there's still some rail. You gotta get from point A to point B and finish the mission at some point. But the fact that you can just go raid random buildings and just collect the goodies from people's houses and businesses will never cease to be funny to me. You get in trouble with the cops, have fun digging your own grave. It's an uphill battle. 10 for 10, worth every penny. Even at full price, I have played it enough times where I have gotten way more than the amount of money I should have ever had to have spent on a game for it to be that fun. Purchase it. It's worth your time if you like games like Dishonored that make you not a god, but a person with choices. Player agency is important to me, and I advocate for it. I will see you guys on the next one.